Dallas Cowboys started strong. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and now they have lost multiple members of the coaching staff, including head coach Mike McCarthy, COVID positive. Reportedly 8 positives, and there could be more cranked out every single day as the Cowboys try to get their arms around this outbreak they're currently dealing with. It's not going to make a difference on Thursday night. The NFL's attitude is the show must go on, the show will go on, and there's only one player who has found himself in COVID protocol currently. Amari Cooper is back after his stint. He had 2 games that he missed after testing positive, but no Mike McCarthy. Dan Quinn will come down from the booth and coach from the sideline and take over against a team he knows very well from his years in Atlanta as the coach of the Falcons. But this creates a real challenge for the Cowboys as they try to get things back on the right track, try to fend off the Washington football team, try to maybe work their way up from number 4 on the playoff ladder in the final 6 games of the season. And this is not good for the Cowboys, who seem to be having all sorts of different types of adversity right now, Chris.
No doubt about it. I mean, they lost 3 out of the last 4. The offense has been all over the place. It hasn't been all that great. They were good last week, finally, towards the end of the game and got a little mojo going. We've seen the defense kind of get picked apart. They had no chance against the Raiders last week. No chance. Didn't matter what they tried to dial up or whatever. It wasn't going to work. Played a ton of man-to-man. Yeah, got beat for big plays or committed pass interference. Or they played zone and Derek Carr just picked them apart. So, yeah, there's things to worry about a little bit. And now you got to deal with this. Offensive line hasn't been as dominated. The one player that tested positive is the tackle, Terrence Steele. So now he's going to be out of the mix. Defense isn't doing good. Now Dan Quinn can't even totally worry about the defense. He's got to worry about the whole team a little bit and be, de facto head coach. Man, I mean, they do got an uphill battle here, certainly. And to me, Mike, it seems like, I don't know. I mean, was the weekend different? Like it's the middle of the week for them already, and they're just finding this out. That's where it's a little different too. It's Friday for them today. And they're dealing with this. And that's a distraction this late in the week. It's one thing when it's like, a normal week, it's a Monday, and you find all these things out, and you got 6 days to kind of, figure your formula out. It's another thing to be like, whoa, it's our Thursday, and we play in a few days and all this hits. That is a distraction. That is going to mess up your game planning. And that's where it can get tough for them this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. It is their Thursday to find out on Monday as they get ready for the Thursday night game. And we see that every year now. The Cowboys have their short week game on Thanksgiving, but then we see them the following Thursday night when they have a 7-day week. They don't get their mini bye until after that second game because the Cowboys sell. And we saw what the Cowboys sold on Thursday, 38.5 million average viewers for CBS. And that's another reason why this game is going to happen. Regardless of what happens the next couple of days, I would be beyond stunned if the NFL doesn't play this game as scheduled on Thursday night. It's up to you to have guys ready. It's up to you to keep the virus out of the building. And if you lose guys because of it, that's on you.
That's right.
The game is still going to happen. You show up with who you have. Even if you have to have one of the Joneses hold the cord behind the coach on the sideline, whatever it may be.
I would love to see that. I'd pay money.
Get people involved if you have to. And we've heard stories about that when there have been issues with other coaching staffs where they pull somebody over from scouting to be involved in this, that, or the other thing. You just have to do what you have to do. When the Saints had their coaching staff decimated earlier this year, because that's the thing. The last person who's going to shed any tears for the Cowboys right now is Sean Payton.
That's exactly right.
He had to go through that where a bunch of his coaches weren't available to him, and it's just this vague, rogue COVID reality where any given day, every given day, we can find out a bunch of guys are positive, coaches are positive, players are positive. You just never know when it's going to happen. And with the Cowboys, now that they do have this kind of critical mass, you have to wonder how many more are going to join them as they enter their Friday in preparation for their Sunday, which is Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, this added on to, it's a little scary. There's no question. And you're right. I mean, New Orleans, they don't want to hear it. They're a beat-up football team. They got a lot of players missing. They don't care. You're right. This game's going to go on, certainly. But, hey, this is part of the season. It's the part of the time we live in right now. It's you got to battle on the field, you got to battle in the meeting room, and you got to battle when you leave the facility to make sure, you don't get COVID. That's part of it. It really is. And I'm not shocked that we're seeing a little bit of an outbreak right now, I think, across the NFL because it was Thanksgiving weekend. People, I think, have gotten a little lax across the country, even up here in the Northeast where it's been very strict. There's definitely a relaxation the last few weeks. Family coming to town from everywhere, and, you're seeing the repercussions of all this, I think, right now.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.